So I have this little thing I like to do at the start with a little handshake. So give me your hand.
All right.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then we pull
Or
back.
we could not do that and leave it in 1999 and literally do anything else.
You're lost, man, but your
Let's
call.
just do the show. Hello and welcome to a brand new edition of the Inferno. Football is sadly over, but don't worry, basketball is in full effect. I'm Johnny Soto, and with me we have Hunter Davis.
Thank you, Johnny. And it is a new season, but like the old, we still have our beloved panel. Joining us today are the Blues Brothers, Omar Susi,
I'm ready.
Matt McClure,
Nark.
and Steven Sidner.
What's up, guys?
It has been an exciting season of college basketball thus far. Number one, Kentucky is still undefeated at 21-0. The Gonzaga Bulldogs are back to being a powerhouse, and Duke, well, they're Duke. They're always in the mix as long as they have Coach K. Panel, we are through 13 weeks of the season. Which player has impressed you the most to be named your Player of the Week?
Justin Anderson has been hotter than Omar's temper when someone badmouths Denver. Anderson leads Virginia to victory after victory. He carried the team of the Tar Heels with 16 points. For that reason alone, he is my Player of the Week.
Terry Rozier, the guard at Louisville, is the Cardinals' leading scorer with 22 points and 3 steals in their ACC battle at Miami on Tuesday. He scored 22 points or more over his last 4 games, including a double-double with 22 and 10 rebounds against number 13 North Carolina last Saturday. If he keeps rolling like this, they're going to be a tough team come March.
Now, you guys can talk about your Pac-12 teams and your ACC teams. I'm going to talk about my Horizon League teams, which, if you're not from there, you really don't care about them. I'm talking about Corey Petros from Oakland. He's a 6'10 senior forward. He put up 50 total points, 20 total rebounds. The man's a beast. Big players make big plays. Back to you guys.
College basketball season. Is there a better time?
I can't think of one.
Well, some enjoy it better than others. And to show us who is enjoying it better than the others, we take it over to Kalen Jones and Jacob Janauer to see whose draft stock is rising and whose is yelling timber.
Thanks, Hunter. Jacob Janauer along with Kalen Jones. We're going to talk about some of the best draft prospects right now in college basketball. Kalen, who do you want to highlight?
Well, Jacob, first I want to take a look at Jerian Grant, Notre Dame point guard. First guy I want to look at. He's a little bit older than his counterparts at 22, but he's got great size of point guard position at 6'5". Really great at creating offense in the half-court game as well as in transition. Also a pretty good distributor of the ball. But after really shining in the Irish upset over Duke, he struggled against Pitt, shooting 4 of 9, which is why he's trending down to the mid-first round. Next player is really trending up. That's Ohio State's D'Angelo Russell. Russell plays more of the combo guard type role, but for the sake of argument here, I'm listing him as a shooting guard. He possesses great passing ability, vision, ball handling skills, the definition of smooth. He does lack great athleticism, and you don't really see him attack the rim with force, but he understands how to use his size to advantage. Potential top 5 pick. Next up, and I don't mean to hype up a U of A player, but he's really been trending up. Often compared to Meta World Peace, he's 240 pounds, 6'7", nearly 7-foot wingspan. Stanley Johnson is insanely agile for a guy of his size, and it allows him to get after opponents on the defensive end. Offensively, he can drive virtually at will, top 5 pick. One guy that's really trending down is Louisville's Montrezl Harrell. He's actually one of the guys I was a big fan of last year, at least on the court. His off-the-court stuff was always going to be a red flag coming into the season. Consistency has been an issue, especially in regards to his rebounding and finding a way to score, but he was able to potentially be a really productive player at the next level. Just not sure if he'll be able to really improve upon his current positioning. Finally, Jahlil Okafor from Duke, easily consensus #1 prospect in this year's class. He's really maintained his positioning in terms of trends. I think that's something Jahlil does extremely well, is pass the ball given his youth. He's got the size, the bulk, the build, takes very smart shots, can defend the rim. There's literally no weakness looking at what he offers an NBA franchise. Jacob, who do you have as your top 5 players, or 5 interesting players heading in the NBA draft?
I'm going to start out with a Pac-12 guy, DeLon Wright, a point guard out of Utah. He's a Pac-12 standout for one of the better teams in the conference. Wright has been everything he has been expected to be and more for Utah. His balanced play has led him to put up 14.4 points per game and 5.6 assists per game as the leader of the Utes offense. He's one of the best seniors in the draft class, but his stock is trending down due to some rough games recently in conference. He is now viewed as an early second-round pick. Shooting guard R.J. Hunter out of Georgia State is a lesser-known name. However, Hunter is regarded as the best mid-major prospect in this year's class. He's one of the best shooters in the country and has garnered comparisons to J.J. Redick and Marco Bellinelli. His 20 points per game and 40% field goal percentage are the best in the country. As long as Hunter continues to do what he does best, which is to shoot, he should continue to move up draft boards. Personally, I would compare him to Doug McDermott at the college level, but I can see him having a better NBA career than Doug McBuckets. Small forward Sam Decker out of Wisconsin is playing on one of the best teams in the country. Decker's been a bit overshadowed by fellow Badger Frank Kaminsky, which doesn't make him the primary scorer on the Badgers. However, he has put up 12.6 points per game and shot 33% from three-point range in one of the tougher conferences in the country. With Decker playing how he's expected to play, his draft stock is going to stay even, and he appears to be a late lottery pick at this point. However, if he chose to go back to Wisconsin for his senior year, I would not be surprised. Power forward Miles Turner out of Texas is one of the best recruits out of high school this year, but Turner has not lived up to expectations as a Longhorn. He is a stretch four, can shoot from the inside and outside. In order to get to the next level, he would need to average more than the 6.7 rebounds per game that he is averaging this season. At 6'11", he definitely has the capability to do so. Right now, he is viewed as a late first-round pick. Turner might benefit from another year in school due to his struggles in important Big 12 games, which is why he is trending down. Center Willie Cauley-Stein out of Kentucky is the veteran, so-called, of this Kentucky team. He has gotten better every year he has been in school. The junior is an all-around stud and doesn't focus solely on his scoring. His stats are not super flashy, as he is averaging just 8.7 points per game, 6.4 rebounds per game, and 1.7 blocks per game, and is slowly turning into a poor man's Anthony Davis. He may be the best defensive player in the country and is one of the main reasons that Kentucky is still undefeated. Cauley-Stein's solid season, fantastic potential, has moved him up to as high as number 2 on some mock drafts.
Well, those are our 10 players. Back to you, Hunter, Johnny at the panel, or at the host, desk, whatever it is.
All right, panel, it is time for everyone's favorite segment, the Pick'ems. First, we have number 9, Louisville, traveling to number 3, Virginia.
Now the Cardinals have won 4 in a row. Panel, can Virginia rebound after suffering their first loss of the season last week?
The Virginia Cavaliers are coming off a tough loss to Duke after being at the top of the college rankings for a shorter time than Chris Humphries was married. The Cavs will face the Fighting Cardinals of Louisville and win because Justin Anderson will be too much for Louisville's defense.
What type of drawing is that?
Yeah, it's pretty average, if that. I have the Virginia Cavaliers coming out with this victory. They have a stifling defense, holding teams to 50.9 points per game and holding 4 teams under 40 points. Their defense can be too much for Louisville.
Is that how much weight you lift?
Oh, 23 pounds? I can lift.
And to finish our terrible drawings, I got Virginia as well. They got a great defense. They're number 3 in the nation for a reason. I just have faith in them. Back to you guys.
Steven, that looks like an angle, and we aren't in geometry. Matt, LeBron sucks. And Omar, that looks like Camelback Mountain. Our next matchup, however, Duke hosts Notre Dame, hoping to avenge the 4-point loss they suffered just 10 days ago.
And you know, in that game, Jahlil Okafor had a monster night. 22 points, 17 rebounds. Panel, will Okafor lead his team to victory?
The Irish are coming off a 4-point loss to Pittsburgh and looking to upset the Devils for the second time this year. The Blue Devils will outscore the Fighting Irish, and everyone knows when you outscore the other team, you usually win. So my pick is Duke.
See,
Don't know what that is at all.
yeah, we're not good artists. I got the Blue Devils as well. They got the best coach in Coach K and arguably one of the best players in Jahlil Okafor. I just have faith in them. They're going to get this win at home.
Duke has won 5 of their last 6, and they've won in their last loss coming to Notre Dame. I see the Devils getting revenge over the Catholics this
Is
week.
that your dog?
We really love our stick figures, if you couldn't tell. Back to you guys.
Gentlemen, I knew you were all new to this, but you guys are making our very own Miles Todd look like Michelangelo. Anyway, dang it, can we start over?
We're good.
Dang it, I had it. Now, gentlemen, I know you were all new to this, but you guys are making our very own Miles Todd look like Michelangelo. Anyways, last but certainly not least, we have a rivalry game between the ASU Sun Devils hosting the number 7 U of A Wildcats.
Now, panel, can State pull off that home upset 2 years in a row?
Nope. I got the U of A Wildcats winning. Troy Bolton's such a great player, able to hit that high note in that. Not the right team?
No.
That's East High.
That's East Side. Okay, well, still, I got the Wildcats winning. They're number 7 in the nation, and ASU's just not good enough to keep up with them.
TJ McConn's going to be too much for the average ASU offense, and I think U of A will pull off this victory in Tempe.
Would you like to explain that drawing to us, sir?
It's a Wildcat. It looks like Maggie in The First is Beast. I like that show.
That
but
looks like your dog.
I don't have a dog.
It just looks bad.
I'm sure you have a dog. Anyway, I think the Sun Devils will definitely not upset the Wildcats from northern Mexico. However, they may upset the Wildcats from Tucson. That's why I'm going with the Sun Devils.
Is that supposed to be a basketball?
No, it's a pitchfork.
Back to the panel.
Back to-
Now, Johnny, to me, if ASU scores over 40, I think it's a win in our books.
Basically.
Well, that about wraps up our show. Thank you to all those watching.
And thank you to our production crew that makes this show possible. I'm Johnny Soto alongside Hunter Davis. This has been The Inferno.
Back to the panel.
I was like, I don't